$5 trillion market cap. Yes, we finally have hit that number with NVDA. Crazy. And we have a major earnings week still unfolding. So I'm going to dive into the chart of NVIDIA first, just because that's really cool. And we got to see what the charts tell us. And then I'll look at stocks that are companies reporting earnings on Thursday, October 30th. And we're going to use price action, market timing, and momentum for it because I'm HEMA ready. That's what I do. Let's dive in. So here we have NVIDIA on a daily chart, and look how beautifully it listed from the bull support power zones a few weeks ago. I actually, in internal coaching session, had a target for about 208. So we've hit that upside today. So far, 212.16. I think the number they needed to have it open was like 205 or 208 or something. So way to go, NVIDIA. And where are we headed from here? Well, so far this candle of the day, it's not finished, but so far it's looking like we got that pop higher and may pull back. Now we have a couple things that may exacerbate the action, which is the Fed announcement coming up. And that is, expectation of a rate cut, and that may trickle through to stocks, but I'll still just focus on them individually ahead of their earnings. So NVIDIA has its pop higher. Now, if we get this to form a price high, a higher high, and then a lower bar high, then I think we might have room for a pullback, but as long as we stay above the October 22nd low, it's looking good. All right, now I'm going to get into some of the stocks reporting earnings on October 30th. I have my Wealth Charts panel here, where the first one in the list is Estée Lauder. And this is a stock that right now is having a beautiful breakout from a base. So you can see that there was this hold here back in late September, pushed higher, and I think it's got some more room to run. It's consolidating at the moment. And there's a disconnect between price here, October 20th, versus the price action that was July 3rd, which created this RSI peak. However, I still think bigger picture, there's room for upside. XCL, Xcel Energy, is another cool looking stock because it's got this very sort of classic pullback, right? No crazy zigzags or patterns, just very simple lower highs, lower lows, but it's just working off overbought conditions. So I think there's room for it to resume higher while it stays above the low from September 25th at 76.94. Now, Merck is one of the bigger names reporting, ticker MRK. You can see it's just been, though, in this really choppy attempt of putting in a major low after hitting the $75 area. But until it can clear the highs from March, around $97, I wouldn't get too excited about it. Still expect some churn even with earnings. Okay, next is Eli Lilly, ticker LLY. It's in this very broad range that you can see that's been declining. Okay, so I'm just kind of mapping out this shape, not even touching the exact highs and lows. Within that context, we are on a resumption higher. So if you are looking at this stock, I would definitely look at mapping out that line, touching the action, and looking to see where we have to climb to break out of this sort of year-long consolidation. Room for upside, though, into that 863 area. Ticker APTV, Active. I don't know what they do, but I think their chart is pretty beautiful. They have been seeing these holds at the bull support power zone and pushing higher. So likely the case here, continued upside above that most recent peak. All right, for Amazon, we're going to spend a moment here. We're going to start with the bigger picture chart. So you can see I pulled up a monthly time frame. So you can see how we have been resuming higher off of the April low, but most recently consolidating. Let's take that down to a weekly chart. Again, same thing, consolidating basically over the late June 23rd week low and beneath the February 3rd high. Okay, that's creating a range, and we've got to see some catalyst before we're going to expect it to actually break out one way or the other. But that's the big range. Now let's take that down to a daily chart. On the daily chart, the most recent catalyst from a shareholder perspective that would, improve demand for this stock is that the company is, getting rid of something like 14,000 corporate jobs using AI to streamline. This is just within the past 24 hours. So that is like bad news. Oh, they're firing people. But from the margins might get better, right? We have less salaries to pay. We might have more room for expansion, etc. It might fuel things. And so far it's higher since that news. But this whole chop here is pretty persistent. So the way I look at it, we need to get a closing break above 235.90. That's the September 16th high for me to think there's a chance for Amazon to break out anytime soon. If we don't get that, with the earnings announcement tomorrow, then I think that we are potentially on our way back lower, maybe to like the $215 per share area. Okay, nothing too crazy, but definitely more chop ahead if we're not able to clear that resistance from September 16th. Okay, this stock, Dexcom, ticker DXCM, it is not healthy looking. And right now it's giving a signal between price and momentum that suggests further downside. So I'd watch out below for a move back towards $60. Now, Western Digital, ticker WDC, is popping up higher, looking really good. So the breakout is happening as I speak, okay? This is not where you want to stick your hand out and buy. It's not particularly safe to buy on breakouts because then you have to have a stop that's far away depending on your risk limits. You rather let the breakout unfold and then have the patience to enter on a pullback if you're not long already. So I feel like that's something to monitor here for those of you who like to buy or build up positions after a breakout, okay? Keep an eye on it. The earnings may fuel movement, speed things up to get you that pullback. Now, I would like to see that pullback stay above the October 28th low, but really, so long as it stays above the October 14th low, it might be a good opportunity to go long. Last but not least is Apple. So I've gone to the monthly chart for that to, again, give you perspective on where we've been, okay? So since 2019, beautiful run up higher into 2022, long-term consolidation into beginning of 2023, and then up, 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 again, with some substantial pullbacks along the way. Now, let's take this down to the weekly time frame. Here we have been finally gaining momentum above the December 2024 high in terms of the price action breaking above it. But the actual momentum, it's not really picking up pace on the weekly chart. We'll look at it in the daily, but that may be a sign that there's only so much upward steam before a pause. Now remember, a pause doesn't have to mean a downward correction, okay? Apple could just go sideways and eat up time, right? Pauses can be price corrections or they can be time corrections. Now let's look at that daily chart. Daily chart on Apple here. Yeah, momentum has not really been able to get into the bull resistance power zone ever since it did last December. But that doesn't mean there haven't been buy opportunities, especially looking at the bull support power zone. So what I'd say here is, if you are long on Apple, then you may want to look to protect your positions, tighten up your stops. Somewhere beneath the October 10th low, or if you're a little more aggressive, you want to protect more, beneath the October 22nd low. But that doesn't mean show's over. And for this one, let's go to an intraday chart. Again, this is going to change by the time we get to earnings and get past the Fed news probably. But again, you can see how it has been holding bull support up to bull resistance. So right now, even if we get a pullback, I still think so long as we stay above that October 22nd low, it could just be another short-term buying opportunity. So that's my take on some companies reporting earnings Thursday, October 30th. If you found value in this video, got some reminders of lessons, analysis techniques, insights into the markets, and more, go ahead and hit that like button on the video so that I can know that you found value in it, and I'll catch you in the next video.